Lack of symptoms does not mean you are healthy. Welcome to Be Fab, Be You Made Simple, your daily dose of inspiration designed to help you reinvent yourself by optimizing your body and mind. I am Maria Horstman, a health editor and coach, a fitness trainer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, founder of BeFabBU.com. Our episodes are short and will bring you valuable content and practical nuggets for optimal health and fitness that you can implement ASAP. Let's get you to feel fabulous every day. Are you ready? Check out the show notes to 1, schedule a free call with me to discuss a plan to take your health to the next level. 2, submit a question to be featured in our Ask Me Anything episodes on Sundays. Connect with me on social media and much more. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you hear, share with your friends and leave it a rating. Does not mean that you're healthy. What? Hello, my tribe. Welcome to the Be Fab, Be You Made Simple. I am your host, Maria Horstman, and I'm so glad that you're here. And I have an awesome show for you today. So let me kick off by asking you this. If you have been to a doctor before, why did you go? What are the chances that you went because you had some kind of symptom? Well, there are symptomatic people who choose to not seek doctors or seek help of any kind. And then there are the non-symptomatic ones. This group is very unlikely to check in with a doctor. What for, right? There's no symptom, there's no problem. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to discuss why lack of symptoms does not mean a person is healthy. And we're going to include to this discussion the wellness meter, which is something that it's very well known among functional diagnostic practitioners like myself. So I added an image to the transcript and to the video version of this episode of this wellness meter. Sometimes, a picture tells 1,000 words, but if you don't have access to this image right now, don't worry. So I want you to do this. For now, I want you to imagine a half circle. Right in the middle, you have no symptoms. At the end of the right side of that circle, you have death or no function. Yeah, it's pretty dramatic, right? And then at the end of the left side, the opposite side of this, you have 100% function. UP. So from no symptoms to death, from the top to the far right, there is things like poor energy, fatigue, pain, sickness, poor immunity, and diagnosis of chronic and inflammatory diseases before one reaches a state where the body cannot handle anymore and there is death involved. Not that death has to always involve the chronic or inflammatory disease, but we're talking about, disease states over here. And some of the characteristics. Now, from the 100% function to the top of no function, right in the middle, a person will experience cell protection, strong immune function, high energy. Yes, now, I do not know of anyone with 100% function, and that's me included. However, the goal is to get our bodies to run at 100%. Symptoms versus no symptoms. First, if you have symptoms, which direction are you heading to? How do you rate your energy level? How often do you get sick? or maybe you have been diagnosed with diseases, or you're taking meds to treat symptoms, right? This is a state of, care that is more like a sick care situation, not a healthcare situation. But anyway, the question also goes into what kind of natural therapies are you practicing along the way, that will help you heal and give the cells what they need to do their jobs, because every cell wants to work. They don't need to be told what to do. Now, second is the no symptom state. Okay, that is actually a dangerous state. What do you mean with that, Maria? Well, the thing is, here is where most people consider this to be healthy. Often, this group of people claim that they are fine. Fine. Absence of symptoms is also rarely a state. One person or anyone is feeling energized or inspired, okay? Period. And by the way, let me tell you this. I'm not a fan of the word fine. I haven't been for as long as I can remember. To me, literally, it is a word that, is a synonym of plain. It is uneventful. It is boring. It is unengaging. It feels so freaking robotic to me. How you doing? Fine. What does that mean? You want to go to the movies? Fine. What kind of answer is that? You agreeing with everything? Do you want to go out? Fine. I mean, tell me really what the hell is going on, or how you feel, or what do you want? The fine. Look, it's really hard for me to feel positive or optimistic about this word fine. And I'm curious, how do you feel about it? Maybe you can convince me otherwise, and, reach out and let me know, because I'm open to always learning. I just haven't come across any definition, any scenario that I like the answer fine. Now, going back to the health and wellness over here, when it comes to the quality of health of this non-symptomatic people, the question I have is, how fine are they really? If that's you by any chance, you're that kind of person, I'm fine. What are the chances that you are covering up or masking symptoms? Often people are already on the right side of that wellness meter, meaning that going in the wrong direction, okay? And they're experiencing some kind of symptom. And the answer to questions of how are you doing, how are you feeling, really comes down to the bottom of, what, I'm a little tired, or I have a headache, or I get bloated and gassy after I eat most of the time. I can't sleep very well. But beyond that, I'm fine, it's not a big deal. God, how many times I've heard that? It really kind of, I have sometimes to just swallow it because it's not the right time for me to say anything. And I'm like, all righty then. Look, the reality is, like any human being, all we want is to feel good, right? I don't know anybody who wakes up in the morning and says, I want to feel terrible. Right? If you are, okay, maybe it's time to see a therapist or something. I'm just saying. So, when that kind of feeling better and not really admitting to these symptoms, the intake caffeine, ibuprofen, the Pepsin, the Tums, and of course, over-the-counter medications like melatonin and even sleeping pills, they become part of the normal of that person. And these are classic ways people self-treat and self-medicate to get back to that normal, to the no symptom right there on the top of that, curve of that circle that we're talking about. They want to feel healthy again. Well, for how long? Well, look, I've been there, I've done that, and it still happens to me. When I don't get enough sleep, I self-medicate sometimes with caffeine. And this is is still a reality for me, especially knowing that when I got my results of my stress and hormone panel, showing that I'm in the compensatory phase of my HPA axis dysfunction. And HPA stands for hypothalamus pituitary adrenal. And I'll be discussing more of that at some point, in the future, but that's one of the panels that I run with my clients. So I did that for myself as well. But anyway, the reality is, without any judgment whatsoever, it is easy to get stuck in the allopathic care where an individual or even a practitioner, a coach, focus on symptoms and supplementation and focus on one little aspect of the body that is not functioning well or this imbalance. Well, the reality is, again, the body does not work like that, okay? It's not one thing. And you work on that one little thing. You say, oh, my liver is not working well. So you work on the liver only. Well, the liver impacts the whole body. So, let me drop you a truth bomb. Lack of symptoms doesn't mean you're healthy. Understand that, please. Actually, it's backwards thinking when you correlate health with symptoms only. Here are some important concepts, okay, behind this wellness meter. So one is, most people associate their how they are healthy with this lack of symptoms. However, often when the symptoms show up, most people are quick to make them disappear by self-medicating with this over-the-counter drugs, beverages, including alcohol, caffeine. They eat comfort foods to cover up the symptoms so they can get back to feeling no symptoms again. Two is, depending on the person's vital reserve, the ability, that storage of wellness they have and their genetic potential, because that's all unique to each person, they continue to push through. And they can do that sometimes for quite some times. And they use this as a way to patch their symptoms, to get to feel what? Fine again, without addressing the problem, unfortunately. So as they go and continue to address symptoms only and not the real problem, their health and function will keep degrading, slowly and steady. And at this point, they might see a doctor because they start to feel really crappy and impact their day-to-day. Or they need more of this self-medication things that we just mentioned. Doctor will likely do some blood work, check the highs and lows based on the normal distribution. They might recommend some pharmaceutical drugs to help reduce the discomfort or pain and get their numbers back to normal. This normal is not optimal. Let me just give you the highlight here. Now, as the person continues to live without looking beyond the surface, which are the symptoms, and without investigating for hidden stressors that are leading their quality of wellness to be poor, to making, and making changes, and without making changes actually to their lifestyle, they will likely be diagnosed with a condition. That's how it goes, folks. At this point, if a person doesn't get it fixed, right, and sometimes quickly, the condition or conditions can lead to death or even premature death. That's how it goes. That's the reality. I'm here to tell you. We don't like to talk about this stuff, but that's, Look around. You can go to different types of practitioners to get out of pain, but that doesn't make you well. No symptoms is not as optimum state of health, period. The reality is that people don't call me when they present no symptoms, right? Because they can continue to push through. People reach out to me when they cannot get rid of this extra weight. They're feeling really lousy, tired all the time. They experience aches and pains, cannot sleep. Sex drive is down to the tubes. They get sick often. They're just not feeling good in their own skin. Their skin actually doesn't look good either. They may have been even diagnosed with one or two more conditions. So these are the reasons people come to me. So the ones with no symptoms who believe that they're healthy, they're not coming to me, unfortunately. Well, as an integrative functional health practitioner and coach, I'm not in the business of treating and diagnosing people. I want to understand what's going on with every single person. I ask questions. I dig into their history to uncover why are those symptoms happening, because symptoms are not normal. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Please don't fall into just because so-and-so feels like that or the majority of people feel like that, that's normal. No, you are here to function at 100%. However, the symptoms do serve a purpose, and that is one of pinpoint opportunities inside you for us to work together, for us to work to heal. And during this kind of detective type of work, I'll run a set of great functional labs that will give us valuable data about you, what's going on. And we're going to be able to correlate, to you likely. And that's part of the work I do. And these labs really help me and help us identify hidden stressors. And that's in the areas of hormones, immune system, digestion, detoxification, pathways, energy production, nervous system. Your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. And guess what? When I put it all together, it usually explains why people don't feel like themselves anymore. And people are so highly individualized. It is unbelievable how different we are from each other. So this comparison game that goes on all the time, please don't do it. The healing protocol that I put together involves these natural therapies, right? And concepts of wellness. It involves, a unique diet, sleep protocols, exercise, stress reduction or elimination, because the stress is not only the go, go, go. There is multiple stressors, that we can eliminate that are going on in the body. And there is supplementation as well. When we reach certain levels of deficiencies, we got to get the body up, back and running. And I don't work with anything specifically. I work with everything non-specifically as I look at a person's whole lifestyle. And that will, is the way that I can find ways to kind of help the person to get over the hump and get to the healthy side of that wellness meter. So in summary, I want you to get this. There is good news here. The good news is that we can prevent or reduce the aging process by building our health. We don't have to or should wait to experience symptoms. When we are mindful and choose to fuel, F-U-E-L, ourselves with what they need to thrive, we're boosting energy naturally. We're building immunity so our bodies function as they were designed from birth to natural cause of death. That's it. There is a natural path. Most of us have a choice in regards to what we eat, drink, how often we move, how much sleep we get, how we respond to stress, to life curveballs. The more aware we are of our bodies, the sooner we take responsibility of our daily choices. You know how much I love to talk about choices and how these choices are positively or negatively impacting our wellness. The more equipped we become to experience a vibrant life, that's the way it works. With minimum medical intervention compared to those who ignore the body's signaling and focus on patching symptoms. I don't want you to patch symptoms. I want you to pay attention, and I want you to take action sooner than later. If this is speaking to you, it's because it's meant for you to listen. It's meant for you to be right here, right now. So do just that. Take care of your body. Give the time it needs. Seek help. So if you're curious and would like to learn more about how I can help you to get you to that healthy side of the wellness meter, go to bfabbu.com right now and schedule a complimentary consult so we can figure it out, if I can help you, because I'll tell you yes or no, and whether we're fit to work together. That's the deal. And I would love to meet you. I would love to talk to you. So in the meantime, thank you very much for listening. And if you found this information valuable, share with somebody. I would love for you as well to leave us a rating in iTunes. And that will help this podcast reach other awesome people just like you. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the BFABU Made Simple podcast. Can you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and leave it a rating. It helps the podcast, and I really appreciate it. If you're wondering where to start, head over to my website, linked in the show notes, to sign up to receive encouragement, tips, and strategies to maximize results. While you're there, download a free health guide to get you started today. If you're looking for a coach and trainer to help you optimize your weight, body, and health, get on my calendar. Let's discuss your goals, establish a custom plan, implement it, and celebrate your results. Together, we can do this. Find the link to schedule a free energy audit strategy session also in the show notes. Connect with me on social media. I would love for you to let me know that you're listening to the show. Also see the show notes for the links. In addition to a qualified healthcare practitioner, it's important that you have someone in your corner who is in for you and will help you to plan and stay on track implementing your goals. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll this boat. I will see you on the next episode of BFABU Made Simple. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for healthcare by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.